everyone. Welcome to Allen Creek School. I'm Mr. Biondi, the principal of this amazing school and community. Now, I know most of you know me, but I wanted to officially introduce myself to our many new families that are joining our school. The purpose of this video today is to first welcome you and to let you know that we anticipate another great school year. I'm going to share with you some things that will be different, that I think maybe most of us already know, but I'm also going to share with you many, many, many things that are going to be the same about right here at the school you love. So I am excited to have you return to the place you love, back with your friends and teachers. So right now, you notice that I have a mask on, and that's certainly one of the things that are going to be different, and it's going to be okay. Right now, I am going to take my mask off so you can see me, and just so you know, I'm being responsible, our camera crew is more than 12 feet away, and they have masks on, so it's pretty safe, okay? So now I'm going to take off my mask so you can see me and maybe hear me a little better. Here I am again. So I kind of wanted to start with talking about what are some of the things that might be different. And I showed you the first thing, right? The mask. Okay, we'll all be wearing masks throughout the day. And our desks will be 6 feet apart. So those, I think, are the two biggest things that are different. Now let's think about the masks. Although it may be uncomfortable, know that we will have multiple breaks for masks during the day, okay? And our desks are 6 feet apart, and that may be a little different, so there may not be as much interaction, but you certainly will be with your friends and with your teachers, and you will be able throughout the day to spend time with your class in unstructured areas or bigger areas, like, let's say, for example, outside, if you're sitting doing some instruction, that you could then take off your mask and still have instruction. So there'll be many times for us to make it very, very comfortable. The other thing that we'll be doing a lot more throughout the day is washing our hands, okay, a lot through the day. When you arrive at the beginning of the school year, your teachers are going to be teaching you all of these routines. And you know, you're probably going to have a bigger and a longer lesson on when and how do I wash my hands than usual. But that's important. That's the first thing we want to make sure is that we're all safe at school and that we are available to learn. The other thing that you're going to want to think about is interacting with your friends. You certainly are going to be able to talk with your friends, but you may not be able to actually be in situations where you're hugging your friends, and I know you love that, or you know, even shaking your hands or engaged in those kinds of physical closeness that might not be the safest thing we can do. But know that you'll still have the love of your friends and you'll be together to be able to talk and to learn together and to play together. So know that that is something that we are very sensitive to and we are going to learn about together. It's about the education, all right? Putting masks on or taking masks off or sitting 6 feet apart, I need you to know that that is not in any way a punishment or a reward. It's about how we have to be in school to keep us all safe, and it's about learning why those things are important. And you're going to hear that from your teachers and from our nurse and from our counselors when you return to school and hear all about it, and with each other. All right, so there were some questions that we thought you might have that I'm going to attempt to answer. These are for parents, but kids too, listen in, so you'll be able to hear some of the things that that might be different or that we need to share with your parents that are really important. So here's the first question that I received. How will the drop-off and pickup be handled? And if different time is needed due to an appointment and such, how do we go about that? All right, so I'm next going to share with you what our arrival plan looks like and what our dismissal plan looks like. Let me just find it here to make sure I'm reading all the right information. Okay, let's, before I talk about the arrival plan, I want to tell you about what you will have in your possession when you come to school the first day, whether you're taking the bus or whether you're getting dropped off. In the mail, the real mail, I know you've been getting a lot electronically, but in the real mail, by the weekend or by the beginning of next week, you will receive some things for your child. What you will receive in the mail are two things. First of all, a name tag with your child's first name. And on that name tag, there will be a picture or an emblem, some kind of symbol. For example, you may, if you're in grade 2 and your teacher is a second grade teacher, you may find this in your mail. And this is a cloud with the number 2 on it. So if I'm in grade 2 and I get off the bus or get dropped off, especially those first days of school, you are going to look for this sign. And that sign will take you to an area where your teacher in your class is. You are going to have also, so this is what the teacher's going to have, this big one, right? What you're going to get in the mail is a small one that you'll have with you to remind you when you get off the bus or when you get dropped off, this is what I'm looking for, and we will be here to help you do that. So this is an example of one symbol. This happens to be a cloud. We have another one, for example, that is a cat. Okay, we have many, many symbols. And the one you get will also have this symbol on your name tag. So just think about that for a minute. I don't want to give you too much information or confuse you, but that is for the first few days of school. So you know, once you're on the bus, once you're being driven to school, you know, you're anticipating, and we all have those butterflies, right? And you're going to get off the bus and you're going to have a mask on. And we're going to have a mask on. This is something that will be visual for you to connect with your teacher and your classmates. So look for this in the mail, okay? And I hope that'll be helpful. And also with your name tag on, your teachers will be able to call you by your name, and that will help us be able to find you as well. All right? So that's a way that we're all going to be safe and we're all going to be able to feel comfortable and connect with each other on those first few days of school. All right. So arrival. We have, of course, buses coming. Some of you are signed up to ride a bus, and some of you are signed up to be driven and dropped off. Let's first talk about drop-off. Parents, you can start dropping your kids off at 8 o'clock. Okay? The reason why this is earlier is because you know what the traffic is going to be like. And if you can get some of your kids earlier here, that will just make arrival time when the buses come a little less congested and more manageable and safe for everyone. So parents, you're going to drive in to Allen Creek School, and you will see that you will see a path with cones where you will be driving up to a section where you will see a staff member. That staff member will greet you at your car. Your kids will get out of your car, and these are the early kids now, and they will be brought into our gym. This is where I am right now. And in this gym, we have marked on the floor throughout the gym 6 feet apart places where you will sit. So you'll just have to come in, you'll find a spot to sit, a marker, and you'll automatically be 6 feet apart. And this is where we're going to hold, for example, the early folks before we then send them to their classrooms. Parents, I'm going to ask you a huge favor. I know how important it is for many of you, especially the first day of school, especially for our youngest learners, to be able to want to kind of watch your kids come into school as you drop them off. But I'm going to ask you, please, if you can, if you're driving your kids, to pull up in the line, have your kids come out, we will greet them, they'll be with a safe adult, we'll bring them in school, and then if you could just keep on and then exit out. That is going to help everyone. And it's also going to help those of you who need to get to work. You need to get to work because you don't want to be late for work. So that will be important too. The buses, at the same time, and I'm not sure exactly what time they will come. It's always different when school starts, but it's still an 8:30 start. They will pull up, and kids will get off the buses, and they too will have their own symbols. When they get off the bus, they're going to look for on the front lawn, they're going to look for their matching symbol. And that will take them right to their teacher and their class. And it will be all coned off so it looks like there are, an area just for your class. All right? So that's arrival. 4th and 5th graders, when you arrive off the bus, or when you get dropped off at the usual time on those first few days of school, you're going to get off the bus. And 4th and 5th graders, you're going to, if you're not an early person and you come at the regular time when the buses are letting kids off, you're going to come and you're going to go right, you're going to look for your sign, okay? And that's going to be someone near one of the front doors. And then they're going to have you go right into the school, go right upstairs, and when you go upstairs, your teachers will be there to direct you to your class. And you will have your classroom symbol with you, and you will also then see the symbol on your classroom door. Okay? All right. Next question. Oh, we talk about dismissal. Okay, which is kind of the same thing. But parents, listen carefully because there's some time difference. In order for our traffic to go smoothly as well, you will be picking up your student the same way you dropped them off. So you will be driving into Allen Creek School up to an area where there will be a staff member. And what that area is an area where there's a door, a side door that goes right into the gym. So you will do the same thing picking them up. The only thing is you can start picking them up at 2:45. We have to stagger it because that 3 o'clock time, I don't want us all to get stuck in Allen Creek School. Although I love you and I'm happy to have you here, I know that you want to get home. So if you could start coming at 2:45 and you're in a park, we're going to check off who you're taking. We'll get them from the gym and we'll bring them to your car. Now, just so you know what's coming, we don't have it set yet, will be an app. What the app is going to be is that you're going to be able to sign up with this app. We are going to have the app. And what that does is to ensure that we are sending kids home with the right person. So your app, for example, you will put in your app, I've arrived, right? So Mrs. Smith, I've arrived. We will have that information here on our computer. And then when you arrive and you pull up, we can ensure that you're getting the correct kids. So it's safety, it's efficiency, and it's a way for us to get you in and out of Allen Creek School in a timely manner. Okay, but that's more to come, and we'll explain that in the near future. So that's dismissal. Pretty much the same. Kids will, for example, for the first week, kids who are going on the bus, their teachers will take them outside and go to their usual staging area from the morning, right? And then when buses pull up, teachers will put them on the bus. As they start to learn the routine, as they always do every year, this is the same. In the morning, they will just come off the bus, come into school, into their classroom. At dismissal, they will use the 3 front doors to go out to the buses, and they will go on to their bus. So, but for the beginning of school, we will have them staged in the morning and then staged again in the afternoon, so they understand, so they're feeling comfortable when they go out there, because it can be a little bit overwhelming. And as you know, we're not sure in terms of what buses come first, what buses come second, so we just want to make sure we have all our kids and then get them on the bus that they need to get on. All right, so that's our arrival and dismissal. If anything changes as we move forward or is different, I will certainly be sending you that information. So no worries there. Okay, arrival and dismissal. All right, the next question, and these are pretty fast. Okay, well, I'm glad somebody asked about food. That's very important. So, any insight on what the lunch options will be and how that will be handled? I know that there's a menu being developed. I don't know exactly what that menu is, but here's what I do know, is that everything is going to be very efficient in terms of your lunch, either in a box, in a bag, in something, because what you're going to do is, if you're buying a lunch, as usual, you're going to come down from recess, you're going to go into the lunch line, get your lunch, and then go back up to your classroom to eat your lunch. So that's the second part of this. All boys and girls will be eating in their classroom, at their desk, right? And to start, of course, we are starting time. So we are sitting at our desks, eating our lunch. As we move forward, and maybe if things are able to be a little more loosened up based on any guidelines from the district, then maybe there will be some movement. But right now, you'll be eating in your lunchroom, in your classroom, okay? All right, the next question was, how many classes will need to be displaced and held in a non-classroom space? So that makes me think of a lot of different answers, and some that I don't have a total answer for you. But one thing I can tell you today is that right now, every boy and girl is in a classroom. Okay, either of course, with their teacher. They have one teacher. And then another adult teacher who may be supervising what you might want to call a pod. But not necessarily, for some classes, you may be in your classroom with all of your students, with all of your classmates, with that teacher, and you'll be using another room, say, for small group work. The non-areas that are not classrooms, for example, like this gym, is going to be a great place for classrooms to come together, and let's say they want to do a lesson right in here. Again, all of the floor in here, in the gym, is marked off every 6 foot. So students come in, they find a spot on the ground where it designates where they can sit. They sit there, and they are automatically 6 foot away. So this is going to be one of those spaces that's going to be, and we're going to have to wait till school starts to really see how we can utilize it, but it's going to be a great area to move kids through, small groups, even a large group, with all of our guidelines in place. So more to come with that. So the reason why I don't have exact numbers is because we still have new kids arriving at Allen Creek School. So we have to figure out each class, but know that you will all have a teacher. You will all have equal access to your teacher and equal access to other adults who will be able to support you and support the teacher's instruction. And all the adults that are in the building are going to be pitched in to help everyone in this, what we are calling a little very different kind of what we think of school. All right, so that's another thing that is a little different. Okay, the next thing that says, let me go back to lunch. Yes, lunch in the classroom. Every day you will have recess. Every day you will have recess as usual. All right, you go outside and have recess. Right now, the guidelines tell us that if you're in recess, meaning outside, in an unstructured area, meaning you're kind of running around, you have to have your mask on. Okay? So what we're going to do is we have designated areas. We have the basketball court area. We have the playground area. We have the field area. And we have our front lawn area. And what we will do is, let's for example, take second grade. There's 3 sections. They will go out for recess, and they will rotate areas, meaning on Monday, when they come to school, on that day, one class will be on the blacktop to play for that day, one class on the playground, and maybe one class on the field or the front lawn, depending on if there's a gym class going on, they will have the field. And then we'll rotate that. So the next day, kids will, in that grade, will have a chance to be on the playground for that day, or the front lawn. Now I know that can be a little bit disappointing because I'm sure you want to be able to play with all of your friends from the entire second grade. Again, we're starting out tight. And then let's hope that things will be able to get a little easier, that maybe we can begin to mix kids a little more. But right now, we're going to start, you'll have a chance to be out for recess, you'll have a chance to be with your class and interact with them out in the playground. So that's recess. Okay, the next question was, when weather doesn't allow outdoor recess, how will that be managed? Well, you will be in your classroom for that. So you'll just stay in your classroom for that recess time and then have your lunch. The other thing I want to talk about outside. So teachers are encouraged through the day, in addition to our regular recess time, to take their classes outside for some instruction. And of course they can use the front lawn, somewhere in the back. But the reason why I say that is because that gives us an opportunity to spread kids out, and they don't have to have their masks on when they're outside, as long as they're sitting and they're engaged in some instruction. So that is what recess and lunch looks like, okay, and when the weather is not cooperating. All right, now let's talk about the great things that are the same. It's a place you love, and it's a place we love you, and we have missed you, and we want you here. Allen Creek School, okay, is going to continue to build classroom communities so you feel, kids feel, you feel physically and emotionally safe. We're going to continue to have a lot of communication with you and your parents and with families. And here's an important thing. We're going to focus on essential learning standards to ensure that you are continuing to show progress and growth, because we need to get back to learning at Allen Creek School at high levels, and we know you can do it. And we have been planning for it, so we're ready for it. Okay, we also want to help you get back and adjust to the routine of your school and school setting, which you've been familiar with. And we're also going to be helping you learn your 2 platforms for our technology. K3 Seesaw, 4-5 Microsoft Teams. In the event we have to go out again, that's going to make your new remote learning much easier. And finally, what we want to do is keep the joy of learning alive for you. I know this has been a challenging time for all of us. And I know that today I gave you a lot of information about things that might be different. I hope that I was able to kind of make you feel a little more comfortable, because I'm so excited to see you on September 8th. One of the things that was so beautiful that I received from actually one of our teachers here, her daughter. I received this in the mail, a quote, and it came at a time that it just helped me feel so good and reminded me what a great school we have, what a great community we have, and that kids, You are strong, and you are making it better for us and for the world. So I'm going to read this to you. She said, Mr. Biondi, when life gives you 100 reasons to break down and cry, show life that you have 1,000,000 reasons to smile and laugh. Stay strong. You got this. And that made me feel so good, and I hope that makes you feel good as well. So now, right now, so I continue being responsible, I'm going to put my mask back on. I'm going to take my very fancy hand sanitizer and do a little hand sanitizing here. Notice, okay, I'm going to wipe my hands. That's what we got to do more and more every day, all day long, okay? There you go. And remember, another thing that won't be different, you will hear me singing in the hallways. So have a great rest of the 2 weeks before we see you. I can't wait till you get back to Allen Creek School, our home. Bye, everyone.
Hi, we would like to wish everyone a warm welcome on behalf of the Allen Creek PTSA. I am Kara Miller, Allen Creek PTSA co-chair and district representative, and this is Shannon Knick, also PTSA co-chair and building representative. Clearly, this is going to be a different year, but the role of PTSA in building a strong community for our teachers and students will be more important than ever. Returning families know what a special place Allen Creek is, and new families will soon discover it for themselves. Some things will be different, but PTSA will continue to help provide the extras that make a school feel more like a community than just a building.
So as everyone is gearing up for the beginning of school, we know there's a lot of information to keep track of, but we need a few things that you can help us with PTSA. The easiest way to do this is to go to our website, ace.pittsfordptsa.net, and click on the yellow To Do button, and you can take care of everything at once. There's links, makes it really easy. But the main things we need help on is one, to join PTSA. So this is a $17 membership fee, and it doesn't matter how many kids you have at the schools or which Pittsford schools they attend. It's just one flat fee, and it really helps to fund a lot of the initiatives that PTSA does within the school, and also really important work like advocacy. When you pay your membership fee, it does not mean that you are volunteering. It is just a way to help fund the activities that PTSA does. But we do need more volunteers. We have some great open positions available. You can go check them out on our website. There's things from helping running art projects for students to coordinating our annual night at the Red Wings game. Now, obviously, we don't know if all these will happen in the same way they have traditionally, but we're optimistic, and we want to get these positions filled so that we can hit the ground running if we're able to. Worst case, in these events, some of these events can't happen, you totally still get credit for signing up. So the last thing is that we just want you to stay in the loop. It's definitely going to be a wacky kind of year, and so sign up for our e-news, sign up, go to Facebook and like our Allen Creek Parents page, and these are both key ways that we will get information to you throughout the year. So this year is definitely going to look a little different, but we are so lucky to have the community that we have at Allen Creek. We are definitely all in this together, and we look forward to a great year. Thank you. So again, go to our website, ace.pittsfordptsa.net, click on the To Do, and take care of all the things you need to make it a successful year for PTSA. Thank you so much.